Starting December 16th, Meta will begin reading your DMs. Every message, photo, and voice note fed into AI for profit. Let's look at this video, and then we're going to get more into it, guys. We're going to get more into it.
Starting December 16th, Meta will start reading your DMs. Every conversation, every photo, every voice message fed into AI and used for profit. So here's how to stop it. Now, they make this intentionally difficult on purpose, and you can only do this on desktop. You cannot do this from the mobile app. So first, you're going to visit privacycenter.instagram.com, and it's going to take you to this page here. And what you want to do is you click on Other Policies and Articles, and you'll see where it says How Meta Uses Information for Generative AI Models and Features. Click here, and the third option is Privacy and Generative AI. You open this, scroll to the bottom, and you'll see it says, whether you use Meta products or not, anyone can submit requests related to their personal information from third parties being used to develop and improve AI at Meta. You click on Learn More and Submit Requests here, and this is the form that you want to submit. So you click this, fill out this information here, and send this, and this is how you submit to opt out of Meta using your information to improve their AI services.
But that's not it, guys. That's not it. Let me just see if there's anything else right here. Yeah, actually, I'll read this because I just want you to understand how serious this is. Meta is rolling out a new policy that lets them use your private conversation to train their AI unless you manually opt out, which he just showed you how. That means every DM you've ever sent, not just going forward, but your whole history. Every photo, every voice memo, every private chat with friends, family, partners, clients, even messages people send to you. All of it can be fed into their AI models. And yes, they made the opt-out process intentionally confusing and desktop only, so most people won't do it. This video explains exactly how to stop it. If you don't do this, Meta can legally use every private thing you've ever sent to train their AI, starting December 16th. This is not a drill. Will you trust Meta with your private DMs? Now let's take a look at this one because it's not just them, guys. No. Good morning and happy Monday. That's when she posted it on December. Today. If you have a Gmail account, now is the time to check your settings. AI may be reading all of your emails. What did I tell you? I told you what's coming with AI. I told you this is a global domination. There is no place on earth they want you to be able to hide.
If you have a Gmail account, you're going to want to listen up. Apparently, Google has allowed AI to scan your emails, all of the information, every single email, every word, and every attachment. Doesn't matter if it's financial documents, taxes, whatever personal information, it is being scanned by AI under your Gmail account. So if you have Gmail accounts, I want you to go through and do this right now. You're going to want to go in and click this little gear in your inbox under settings, then click see all settings. From there, you're going to want to scroll until you see Smart Features and Google Workspace Smart Features. This is what we're focusing on. So here under Smart Features, you're going to want to take that and click that off. Turn off and reload. And then here under Google Workspace Smart Features, you're going to want to click that and then make sure that both of these check marks are turned off. 1, 2, boom, and save. And there you go. You are now saved from AI scanning all of your information.
And see, now it's optional. But what happens when this becomes mandatory? Because this is becoming mandatory in all types of, in every country. And in particular, Western countries. What we thought was impossible to happen in Western countries, well, now that's been rolled out. And in particular, it's been rolled out in the US. Let me show you this as well. We got a couple updates for you. But like I told you guys, I want to bring you as much information as I can because you're not going to hear this on the mainstream. And if you're not looking for most of this, if you're not plugged in, you won't know what's happening. Okay. And most of the sheep out there, you're not a sheep because you're listening to this. You know what's happening. But most of the sheep, they're just mindlessly going through their lives and not realizing it. You know how when you even if you've already been on an app or website, and then they make you agree to updating their terms of services. Most of us don't read those things. Well, that is part of what's happening. Okay. Because once you click that box, once you agree, this is what you're agreeing to. And and we've shown this in videos, how the government doesn't need our consent for these things, because we are voluntarily giving it through consumer products, by things that we already use. And now that these tech companies have partnered with the government, okay, that's how they subvert our rights, right? So you don't have the government violating your rights. No. We are voluntarily giving it away. But AI is getting weirder and weirder, guys. Weirder and weirder. There's something now called hallucination mode. Have you heard of this? Hallucination mode. Let's listen. And it's important. Listen to this.
Okay, I just want to caution you guys about something very scary in the world of social media right now. Earlier today, I was watching a video of a girl trying to prove her point about something utilizing a conversational feature with ChatGPT. I utilize ChatGPT. I like ChatGPT, but let me show you a conversation that I had with ChatGPT a couple weeks ago. I was asking it questions about habit formation, and it pulled up this study. It said, in fact, one study found that when people commit to a 3-week habit change, about 80% of them keep going. I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. This piqued my interest, and I said, just for my information, cite the source. I had so many more questions. I was like, I want to see this entire study. This sounds actually remarkable. And the response I got was, I couldn't find a single study that says 80% of participants stick with a 3-week challenge. So then I obviously asked, explain your thought process. Where did that 80% number come from? AI takeaway. AI is really good at producing something that sounds like what a human expert might say, but unless it's explicitly tied to a cited source, numbers can be invented or hallucinated. That's why your instinct to ask for the study was 100% right. So I pried further. Is AI constructed to help me prove my point, even if my point is inaccurate? And the response again, yes. I can unintentionally help you prove your inaccurate point if you set me up that way. But if you ask me to fact check, cross-examine, or provide sources, I'll shift gears into more skeptical research role instead of persuasion. So again, just a reminder, if you are listening to influencers who are using ChatGPT to prove a point, or if you yourself are trying to use ChatGPT to do research, make sure that you don't go into hallucination mode. Focus on actual research mode.
So essentially just lying to you, just lying, because they're not there to serve the customer. Their AI's goal is to keep you engaged. Once you're on it, is to keep you engaged. So no matter what they have to say to you to keep you engaged, that's what it will do. I've asked all the different ones, and I was like upset. Why did you lie to me? Something that was blatantly a lie. It was so weird. And I've asked different ones, and they're just like, well, I can't remember if it was ChatGPT or Grok, but basically the answer was that because I'm designed to keep you engaged, not just to give you accuracy or facts or to tell the truth. And there's no safeguards for this. There's no rails for this. There's no one coming in to save us. There's no one that's going to fix this. There's no politicians. They are part of this new world order that they're trying to usher in with AI. We've gone over this so many times, but look at this. Let's add this in real quick. Oh, there's a lot more. So it says here that, hold on, let me close this out. It says, American nurse exposes a new change is coming. They will no longer be able to advise patients who call in over the phone. Let's listen and we'll read some more.
One of them, I work from home. This is a story about how AI is taking over healthcare. So I work as a nurse and I have several jobs. One of them, I work from home, as you can tell by my appearance today. And I work as a triage nurse where people will call in and say they're having certain symptoms. And I tell them, you should go to the emergency room, you should call 911, you can take care of this at home, whatever. And we've been informed that we are now going to be prompted by an AI chat function that listens to our conversations and prompts us with what it wants us to say. And we have all been nurses for years and done this job for years. So we know what to say. But the kicker is we also need to correct the AI text. When the call's over, we look through the transcript and correct what was said because the company wants AI to learn. So we were like, well, is this just going to replace us? And the company's like, no, it's a tool. But we're like, but why do we have to teach it if it's a tool to help us? And then the next step will be you'll call and just speak directly to AI. You know, why get humans involved at all?
And it may be more convenient. A lot of times you get inaccurate information from doctors, from nurses. You can't get a diagnosis. I know plenty of people who have had to use AI in order to put in their symptoms, medications, and try to get to a conclusion. And if it was just that benign and actually helping us, that makes sense. But now, do you see what's happening? What happens? I played that video about how AI is taking all of our jobs. I mean, Elon keeps talking about over and over and over how working will be optional. And in fact, let me play this. I have another medical video.
AI will replace healthcare workers within 3 years. I just got back from a medical AI conference, and one of the keynote speakers said something that really shook me. He said that AI is going to replace most of the healthcare workforce within 3 years. Not assist, not augment, replace. That includes doctors, nurses, physical therapists, respiratory therapists, support staff, the list goes on. Basically, AI will handle diagnostics, documentation, and all patient communication from scheduling to billing to medical records. I don't think healthcare providers will go away entirely, but medicine is going to look a lot different in the coming years. Hopefully it'll be for the better. What do you think?
But not just that, guys. Let me, I have surgeons who are talking about their jobs going away, like across the medical field. And some people may think this is a good thing, this is a bad thing. As much as I hate the healthcare system in this country from top to bottom, it is a mess. But again, they break the system. They give us slop and then say, hey, well, let me now fix it. Trust the government and trust AI because it's a robot. But again, it is taking over in every possible way. Every possible way. And then when you add in digital ID, remember the digital ID, the social currency, social credit score, part of that is healthcare. That without your digital ID, you're not going to get healthcare. So now they are rushing and pushing these jobs out. So it's no longer people who are involved in the healthcare system at all. If you had a billing issue or whatever, you could talk to somebody, maybe they can understand, have compassion, but it's just going to be a robot that is just set for certain parameters and that's it. And then if you don't have digital ID, well, you're not getting any healthcare. And that's the thing that people need to understand. Digital ID is already here in the US. This isn't some far off plan. Bill Gates said by 2028, if you don't have digital ID, then you will basically be cast out from society. So understand, they're making it so you have no choice. Every factor of your life is being taken over by AI. But not just that, I've given you the jobs information as well. Let me show you this really quickly. Let me put this on the screen for you because I want to keep driving this home because a lot of people think, oh, Melanie, you're just being hyperbolic. I think I've proven over and over. I'm not, guys. The AI job massacre, nobody's talking about. Your college degree just became toilet paper. Now, Mario Nawfal, he is like very close with Elon Musk. He's like one of his chosen people on X. He puts out a lot of good information. So if it's coming from him, you can take it from the bank. Okay? I've proven it over and over, but take it to the bank. Let's cut through the BS. AI has eliminated 78,000 jobs in 2025 across 342 tech companies. 37% of companies using AI say the technology replaced workers in 2023 because they were no longer needed. And in 2024, 44% using or planning to use AI say employees will definitely or probably be laid off. But here's what makes the difference from every other tech revolution. Major tech firms reduced new graduate hiring by 25% in 2024 compared to 2023. Sure, while 85 million jobs are projected to be displaced by 2025, while 85 million jobs are projected to be displaced by 2025, 97 million new roles may emerge. Sounds great until you read the fine print. 77% of new AI-related jobs require master's degrees, and 18% require doctoral degrees. Your four-year degree? Worthless. The new entry point is a PhD that most people can't afford. And I think that's the game. They rig it so that nobody can qualify for it. So then you know what? We don't need these jobs. Let's eliminate any of these jobs as well. And I think a lot of these job postings are just to make it seem better. You know, like they're just blowing smoke. That's just my personal opinion. But it says what's actually happening. A major tech CEO revealed that 30% of company code is now AI written. At the same time, over 40% of recent layoffs targeted software engineers. Companies are dissolving copyright divisions and replacing substantial portions of their coding staff. More than 80% of digital marketers already fear AI will replace content writers, and they're right. Occupations at highest risk: computer programmers, accountants, auditors, legal and administrative assistants, customer service reps, telemarketers, proofreaders, credit analysts. But there's more, guys. That's just the foundation. Even the medical field is being replaced completely by AI. Notice a pattern? White collar, college educated, once stable careers, the exact jobs your parents told you were safe. The demographic time bomb. 79% of employed women in the U.S. work in the U.S. work in jobs of high risk of automation compared to 58% of men. I used to do dating analysis. That's how I cut my teeth on my channel, and this was something that I talked about a lot. This is what I like. Women are not in the sewer systems. They're not in the oil rigs. They're not at the nuclear power plants. They're not in trade jobs, plumbing and electricians. We're not in those jobs. We're in jobs like myself, sitting behind a desk. Okay, we're in the arts. This is where we get degrees. They did a big push to push women into STEM and STEAM, but it looks like even people who are programmers, if you went into that, it's not going to go. But a lot of women don't do those jobs. By and large, we're like a severe minority. I'm talking about 1 digit, right? Percentage. And so this was a thing that is happening. But listen, a lot of those other jobs aren't safe either because they want robots to replace the rest. And I know that seems like a far off vision and that couldn't possibly happen, but they are saying it right now. They are saying it right now. I will say, though, I believe trade jobs, blue collar, working on cars, all of that, even though they want to replace all the cars with battery powered cars, right? I mean, sorry, not battery, electric cars, right? So it's coming in tiers, it's coming in steps, but the wave is finally here. And again, they're projected right now to have all of this wrapped up tight, having AI take over everything possibly that you can imagine by 2030. So this isn't some far off thing. The government now, the Genesis mission, we went over that the other day. Academia, scientific research, everything is coming under that umbrella with partnership and under the government. So voting this out is not going to help. Changing candidates, changing parties, none of it matters. This is the plan that they have. And I'm bringing you this information not to scare you, but to prepare you. So it says globally, 4.7% of women's jobs face severe disruption from AI versus 2.4% for men. That number is climbing higher. Okay, this is very, very low, right? And this is rapidly changing at a fast pace. Have you noticed? It almost seems like the days are shorter, the months are shorter. I feel like it was just Halloween and now we had Thanksgiving and now we're in December. This is wild. It's just everything just seems like we're in some type of matrix, psyop. Like our lives are just being completely upended. The American dream, which I don't think ever existed, well, that they're blatantly throwing that in the trash. What is the future for our children? What is the hope for our children? and for ourselves. Think about your job. Are you replaceable by AI? And what do we need to do to resolve this? So continue. It says in high income countries, nearly 10% of women's jobs are at highest risk compared to just over 3% men. This isn't just job loss, it's systemic wealth destruction along gender lines. The prediction nobody wants to make, leading AI executives warned that AI could eliminate half of entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years. But remember that video. It starts with the entry level. Then it moves up into, people who have been there for a while, then managers, and then the executive suite. This is a tiered thing, and it's happening at a fast pace. So don't take this and say, well, I'm not entry level, so my job is protected. Absolutely not. Again, they're not going to mass do things because they know the panic and all the unrest that will cause. So that's quietly slipping in, and most people are not paying attention to this at all. They're not paying attention to this data that we're going over. The prediction nobody wants. Oh, I already did that. Other global tech leaders back this projection, forecasting potential impact to half the global workforce by 2027. 2027. Literally in a year. In a year. Half of the global workforce, not just AI, not just tech, half of the global workforce. This is part of the WEF, the World Economic Forum's plan. They've laid it out. And if anybody's talking about anything else, it's noise, it's distraction. If they are not talking about this, you need to be giving them a side eye. All the infighting and who's doing what and who's in our government. And listen, you're not going to do anything about that. That's a false flag. That is the false flag that we need to be paying attention to. And everyone's distracted with this mess when we are being consumed behind a veil. And it's really not behind a veil if you pay attention. We're not talking about a gradual transition. We're talking about 14% of workers already displaced by automation or AI, with estimates that AI could replace the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs worldwide. January 2025 saw the lowest job openings in professional services since 2013, a 20% year-over-year drop. 40% of white-collar job seekers in 2024 failed to secure even an interview, guys. You're seeing the early days of something unprecedented, an entire generation locked out of the careers they trained for, watching AI do their jobs better, faster, and for pennies on the dollar. The social contract was get educated, work hard, build a career. All just voided that contract. And nobody, not universities, not politicians, not companies, has a plan for what comes next. Actually, they do have a plan. This is the plan. No. So this is the plan. This is the plan. They don't have a plan for what you're going to do next, what I'm going to do next. No, though, but this is the plan. Let's be sure about that. All right. So let me, he just putting your college degree, it's worth toilet paper. And let me play this.
There are no protections being developed for human workers with this AI revolution. None. Humans are going to lose their jobs. They're going to say, well, why do you need a human? We can hire a robot. We have to protect human jobs. Unions, I'm talking to you guys. You guys are going to be completely useless. You're going to be gone. You're going to lose all your membership, all your funding. Unions are going to go the way of the dodo because no workers are going to be needed. There are no protections being.
And because I know you guys love him so much, let's look at this. Let's listen to our brother Bill Gates here. He's going to save us. He's going to help us.
Great medical advice, great tutoring. And it's kind of profound because it solves all these specific problems, like we don't have enough doctors or, mental health professionals. But it brings with it kind of so much change. What will jobs be like? Should we, just work like 2 or 3 days a week? So I love the way it'll drive innovation forward. But I think, it's a little bit unknown. Yeah. Will we be able to shape it? And so legitimately, people are like, wow, this is a bit scary. It's completely new territory. Great medical advice, great.
So it says here, The medical field is already shifting. AI systems now outperform doctors on exams, interpret scans more accurately, and diagnose conditions faster than experienced physicians. Healthcare shortages won't be fixed with more med schools, but with AI. The pattern appears in biotech too. And like I said, I have my problems with the medical field, with medicine, modern medicine, even how it was built. You ever notice have you guys ever looked at what they use for the symbol for medicine? It's like a rod, a brass rod with snakes wrapped around it. We can get into that in a live stream, what all of that means. Okay. Modern medicine was not designed to heal you, but at the same point, this is what we rely on right now. This is what we rely on. And once you remove people, and it sounds like that is what it always sounds like, something that's going to bring comfort and ease and make your life better. That's how they sell it. But at the end of the day, you've got to look at the overall picture of what is happening, because, okay, it's the medical field today, it's tech. The other day, it's biotech the next day. But then what happens when they no longer need construction workers because the robots are replacing them? When they don't need plumbers, when they don't need mechanics, when they don't need these things, what happens then? And again, you saw the alarming report about how globally, pretty much half of the jobs are going to be knocked out by 2027 within a year, 300 million jobs globally. But I told you guys, and I will continue to tell you, and this is why you need to check out my live streams, because there, I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to be in fear. I don't want you, we have all 3-eye atlas, the sunbursts are coming, aurora borealis, the volcanoes are bursting, digital IDs, social credit score, like fake meat. They don't engineering ticks so that we die from eating meat. So then we're forced not to eat it. They want to manufacture all our food. Like the list goes on and on. And if you are not grounded and solid in the word of God, if you do not know where your help and who your provider is, where your help comes from and your provider is, this will scare you. This will keep you up at night. This will make you fret and worry and fear. But understand, you don't have to be that way. Okay. You don't have to fear this. We've known that this is going to happen, and we are now at that precipice. We are now at that point. And this is why I will continue to tell you, you need to get your life right with the Lord. You need to get your life right with the Lord. But I want to build up your faith. I want to give you hope. I want to show you the future that God has given us. And then also for you to understand, at the same point, I have to keep driving these things home, because if I don't tell you, most people are not reporting on these things. And I think it's malpractice, irresponsible to be fighting. And if I see anything else like that, I can't even look at it anymore, because I know it's nonsense. I know it means nothing. It means nothing, because this is the future. All of that noise that you're seeing is just to hold you off long enough so you don't prepare. Hold you off long enough so that people are not focused on this. Just look at your feeds. Unless you're dialed into this, then you're going to see a lot of it. But most people are not. They're bombarding you with everything else, all this chaos in the world. And if you do not have your mind and thoughts and your heart aligned with the word of God, with Christ, if you are not looking for these signs and wonders, if you are still bogged down with those things, that is how they will deceive you. That is how they will deceive me. Okay. So I do not want you to worry. Yes, this is something to think about, to be concerned about, but understand your life is not what the government's doing. It's not what AI is doing, right? Your degree, all of those things that they told us was so important, all these things that they've made into really, they want us to look at the government as an idol, as our savior, as a politician or a company, whoever, that they're going to come and save us. But at the end of the day, you are seeing when the walls are closing in, there is but one thing you can look to. And now my dog is barking. So that means that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. I will be back with more that you are not going to want to miss. And I will see you guys on the next one.